To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
Welcome back to New Life Live. Chris Williams with Dr. Sherry Keffer, JJ West. We're taking your calls today. Call in. We'd love to talk to you. 1-800-229-3000. And right now, on line one, we're going to talk to Ellie from Sacramento, California, who actually follows us on YouTube. If you have a hard time somewhere in the world where you can't reach us, you can always reach us, view us, join us on YouTube. Ellie, are you there?
I'm here.
We'll talk. Hi.
Great to have you, Ellie.
Oh, thank you so much. Here's the question. I have a brother, and I would like to approach him. Actually, it's not just me, but my other sisters. It's a thing of committing adultery, and we can clearly see that something is happening. He has someone living in his home, and unfortunately she is a relative, and we suspect that it's not straight, the relationship, but things are happening. And we do have a history because it happened in our family before. And we kept the secret, we kept it quiet. It was actually our mother. We kept it quiet because we were afraid of what was going to happen. Well, she ended up leaving. Now we see this years later. We see history repeating.
Yep.
And we want to approach him, but we don't want to scare him. We just want to help him.
Yeah.
What you're doing is not hidden. We see it.
That's
so
good.
How do we approach him? Should it be just one of us or all three of us? I don't want it to seem like we're ganging up.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, thank you so much for that call, Ellie, because that's really, really important. And I just want to say, I love the fact that you no longer want to keep damaging behavior a secret, because that's where it just thrives, and the pain and the destruction just continues. So your courage to bring it out into the open, I want to really commend, and also the incredible trickiness of that. So Sherry, where do we take Ellie from here?
So, hey, Ellie, just a couple of things. So your mom had an affair? You said everything but the thing. So she had an affair? And go ahead.
I'm sorry. Yes, when we were little kids and we knew it was happening. And in fact, this brother, he was the youngest. And when she came back, she came and took one of my sisters, my youngest sister. And he always asked, how come she took the sister and not me, the baby?
Yeah.
So there's a wound for him as well. Now, you said it's a family member. Is it?
Yes.
So tell me can you share what family member it is? You don't have to say a name, but how are they related to you guys?
It's a cousin's daughter.
Okay, so it's a
first cousin.
Okay.
A first cousin, their daughter.
All right. So what did your dad do when your mom was having the affair?
He did not know until my mom just left.
But you kids found out?
We knew about it because she was, her secret, we were there because we were her kids, and, she had to take us everywhere, and we knew this was happening in the background.
So she would take you, and then she'd be with his affair partner, and you guys would be in the car, or you'd be with him, and it was just like this friend, but it wasn't a friend. It was an affair partner.
Exactly.
Got it. And then you guys were so afraid to say anything to Dad, right? Isn't that common? We try to protect the one that's being betrayed in order to not hurt them, but then they're being hurt the whole time. So now, what evidence do you have about your brother? You say you know because someone's living there. Give us a little bit more evidence.
Well, I just spoke to my younger sister, and she said the daughter, my brother's daughter, despises that the other girl is living there. She despises it so much. And then also a comment was made, and this was years ago, so this tells me it's been going on for at least 2, maybe 3 years, maybe even more. But the comment that girl made was sort of off, because in the culture that we are in, there's always respect for your elders, but the girl doesn't show that, like, you're my uncle sort of relationship. It's like they're peers rather than she being a niece.
And then your brother's divorced now?
No, he is married.
He's married, and there's a relative, a young second cousin living with him, and you think something's going on with him right underneath the wife's nose.
Yes. We know there is just other evidence that he has done other damage.
Have you talked to his wife?
I have not, and it's the same thing where we're trying to protect her, but at the same time we want to let her know, or him know, hey, you need to stop this.
Mm-hmm.
So can I jump in?
Yeah, go for it, JJ.
So you started off with a couple of questions. One being, how do we address this? Two, does one of us do it? Do we all three go and talk to him? I think that, in Scripture, right, Matthew 18, where it talks about how we confront others who are in sin, it tells us to first go to the person. And then if they're not responsive, then take 2 or 3 other witnesses with you. And then if they're not responsive, you then bring it before the church. So I think biblically speaking, it would probably be best to just have one of you go kind of as the representative of the sisters or of the siblings. I would start there. Not only do I think that that's a more biblical approach, I think it's a kinder approach for him to not feel like he's being ganged up on, to give him a chance to share from his perspective. And I would start with just what you did with us when you started with the call, which is, you mentioned, we love him, or we are for him, and we want to be able to communicate that. So I think you start there. Hey, we are for you. We want good for you. We want growth for you. We think this is getting in the way of you being what God has called you to be, who God's called you to be, right? So start with that, and then as you're bringing this forward, have a humble enough heart to say, look, we don't know all truth, right? So this is what we're seeing, this is what's concerning us, and we want to hear from you. But if he's unresponsive to that, or if he refuses to meet, that's when you would have 2 or 3 more, maybe you and your siblings all together go and confront him. I would suggest that you start with whoever the person is that seems to have observed the most problematic behavior, right? So if you're all in the same town, whoever's over there the most, or if you're in various places but only one is in town, maybe the person who's in town. Start there. Right now, I'm assuming, Ellie, that there's more evidence that you're not bringing forward, and there may be a good reason why you're not sharing it on air. It may be too identifying to do that. But right now, most of what you've shared is more circumstantial than it is clearly, he must be having an inappropriate relationship with her simply because she's in the home and has a more peer relationship with him than a respectful older, elder relationship. But again, there may be other evidence that you haven't shared with us that points you to, man, there's definitely something going on here. So I would start with just one, and I would start with affirming that you're for him, not against him, and having that humble heart to say, this is what we're seeing, but we don't know all the truth.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Sherry?
I like it.
Yeah.
And in following those footsteps, I would say expect him to not own it. even when the first person goes, because oftentimes shame is hidden. If there is something going on, it's not like he's just going to spill the beans, most likely. It's going to take some care and love, and like JJ gave you a great plan. If you all go and there's still pushback, the third step I would do would be to have you talk to his wife and see what she's feeling, right? Because she, even if there isn't any ownership of it, it's going to put her on the alert. It may help to peel back some things in her eyes, because she might be in denial. She might be avoiding looking at it. That's not uncommon when things are happening, because you don't want to believe that the one you're with could possibly be acting out with a family member. I mean, it's just like, I married you. I wouldn't even imagine you doing that.
Yeah.
But those are just some thoughts. And in the meantime, y'all are going to have to check your own hearts, because this is trauma that you've had. So it's going to be easy for your trauma to spill out on top of your brother's situation.
Yeah.
And so it's going to feel inside like a stampede, because your pain, you're seeing some stuff. So just make sure when you're going, you let that inform you, but you don't let that become like an Uzi or, some kind of weaponize all that passion about the pain that you've had growing up with a mom that it's happened. But, the Bible talks about the sins are going to be carried down to the fifth generation. So we see this all the time, and it's sad. But we're proud of you that you're not sitting back this time. We're proud of you that you're going to take the steps that JJ suggested. And we bless you. We pray for you.
Yes. And Ellie, much like what Sherry was saying, is that truth is the beginning point of all change and transformation. Truth is the raw material. And that's why abuse and addiction and all these other things are so difficult to transform, because we're not connecting to the truth. And so the truth is, I love what was asked about the evidence and JJ's plan of confronting. So you want to be able to ground yourself in truth as you're going into this, as Sherry was suggesting, that that you're clear on what you know and what you don't know, but also that you're courageous in confronting that which could be harmful. And one of the things that we're going to do, we're going to send you a copy of Sherry's book, Intimate Deception.
Healing the
wounds
of
sexual betrayal.
Yeah.
I had the healing of the wounds of sexual betrayal, But Intimate Deception, because I'll tell you, I can say this for Sherry because it's my experience. This book is so powerful, not in just it helps the betrayed person. It helps the rest of us understand what is the experience of the betrayed person and what's the experience of the person committing sexual betrayal. And it starts to uncover all of the internal processes going on. So it gives us more clarity in understanding what is the process, and it's really practical in what we can do about it. So we're going to send that book to you. And Ellie, thank you so much for calling in, and we greatly appreciate it. And JJ, we have Every Man's Battle. Speaking of sexual acting out and brokenness.
Right.
So talk to me, man. What's coming up?
Yeah, so the next Every Man's Battle is going to be in DC, first weekend in November. And my goodness, we want you to be there. We don't want anything to get in the way of you being there. There are scholarships available if finances are an issue. We want you to be there because we know that freedom is on the other side. So if you are struggling in some way with sexual integrity, we want you to make the call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. If you're married to someone or in a relationship with someone who is struggling with sexual integrity, make the call, get the information. It's amazing month after month how we see God set men free.
And JJ,
over and over
this
again.
past month, is there that one story that sticks out to you? That one person is like, oh man, here's what happened. You guys were in Dallas, is that right?
We were in Dallas last month. Yeah. Yes. Sorry. No, we were in Orange County last month.
Oh yeah,
Sorry.
that's right. Yeah.
I get.
Well, here,
they all start to blend together. So, but I will say this: there was a guy who came up to me. He said, I absolutely did not want to be here. My wife basically made me come.
Hold that thought, JJ. We'll come right back.
Yeah. All right.
It had become very apparent that some of the things I was involved with were taking over my life.
In today's world, men are barraged with inappropriate content and images all day, every day. Some say that certain behaviors are just no big deal. It's just part of being a guy. But it's simply not true. It's a battleground for every man, and the opportunities to fail are everywhere. New Life's Every Man's Battle Workshop can help.
After 7 years, he just one weekend, a completely changed man.
For over 20 years, New Life Ministries has been helping men regain their integrity and purity through their one-of-a-kind Every Man's Battle Workshop.
He said, I think this is something that every man should go to. Married, dating, it was definitely life-changing.
Now the workshop is coming to Washington, D.C. November 4th through the 6th. Don't wait for him to call. To find out more, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE or go to newlife.com.
I just can't say enough of what New Life has done for our marriage.
1-800-NEW-LIFE.
I have given to New Life regularly because I have so many people that I am referring to New Life who so benefit from the ministry. I just can't imagine what would happen in my area if New Life wasn't available to us.
You can help New Life Live stay on the air by joining Club New Life today. When you sign up to support us monthly through Club New Life, we'll send you the new member thank you gift of all 8 100-day devotionals, including 100 Days of Prayer, 100 Days of Freedom from Depression, and 100 Days of Peace. There are also ongoing benefits like the monthly Club New Life CD or download, access to the Club New Life video library, quarterly resources, free shipping on purchased resources, discounts on workshops, and quarterly online meetings with Steve. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Support Club New Life, and together we can help hurting people find help and hope in life's hardest places. Call 1-800-639-5433 to join Club New Life today. We'd love to hear from you. If you have a question or a comment, call toll-free 1-800-229-3000. Now back to New Life Live.
Welcome back to New Life Live, and it's me, Chris Williams, Dr. Sherry Keffer, JJ West, and JJ, you were just talking about this, someone's experience at Every Man's Battle last month here in Orange County. What was that?
Yeah, so this gentleman came up to me maybe midway through the second day, and he said, I did not want to be here. My wife basically signed me up, told me that you go to this or it's over. And I was angry. I did not want to be here, but I'm so glad that I came. I can't believe what I've learned. I can't believe what God's done in my heart just in this short period of time. And quite frankly, Chris, we see that so often. It's amazing to me how many guys come in. And you can see them. You can see them when they come in. You can kind of tell, oh, he does not want to be here. Yeah. And to watch God just break and then reform their heart in like just over 48 hours. It's remarkable.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that. It really is remarkable. It's such a doorway for people to enter into a new life that they really honestly didn't think possible.
And it's so interesting, you two, when I think about Ellie's story with her brother, right? She was talking about her mom and her mom's infidelity and the hidden secret of her mom's affair, and how the youngest boy always questioned, well, why didn't mom take me? Yeah. Why didn't he took the younger sister? But that's a wound. It's a huge wound. And I'm not making what he's doing okay. Let me just explain what it's like to unravel a wound with somebody who's sexually acting out. Yes. Because in my book, there's a chapter, it's called Dangerous Liaisons. And I actually do what you said, Chris, is I look at what goes on inside the one that's sexually acting out.
Yes, yeah.
And that attraction to pornography or that attraction to another person can be a very deep wound. Because what they want is they want someone to look at them with that longing, like, I want you, I need you, I've got to have you. And porn, sadly, never disappoints.
Yes, yeah.
But when I think about this family situation, if he was abandoned by his mom, he may not be able to attach well with his wife. He may be
For sure.
inside, have an attachment wound, and so is frightened. So then he's got to have some side family member come in who is admiring him. It's so seductive, the wounds and how they can get tangled into sexual acting out. But if we were to unpack the mom's story and why she had the affair, like I say, all behavior is purposeful. It doesn't make it right, but
For
you've
sure.
got to figure out
For
that
sure.
trauma wound that is driving that sexual acting out, because it's harming them and it's harming family members.
And the thing that can't be oftentimes recognized is that the act of invulnerability, right? Pornography allows me to be in control and get attachment, attention, connection, comfort without the risk of vulnerability.
Yes.
And so there's a subtle vow when we carry these wounds of whether it be a physical act of abuse or whether it be an abandonment.
Yep.
There's this vow that our brain makes, not consciously, but subconsciously. It says never be in that situation again.
Yeah, never trust your heart again to another person.
But God has designed us for connection. Has designed us for intimacy. It really is undefeated. We're going to go get it some way or another. And the key factor that we want to offer here for people is there is a way to do this that ultimately leads to much deeper fulfillment, satisfaction, and life than these really harmful sexualized acting out behavior. Or sometimes some of us deal with very strong avoidant behavior, and we live lives of deep loneliness and isolation. So let's come out of that, guys. Let's,
I mean, and you and JJ are both examples of men that have, battled and are now, like you said, JJ, moving forward as wounded healers that are really helping pull other men and out of the snare of sexual acting out. And so we got lots of calls.
Yes, let's go. Yeah, let's go back to the calls. We're going to go on line 2. Leslie, listening in Middleton, New York, listening on Sirius XM. Leslie, are you there?
I'm here, yeah.
All right, talk to us. What's going on today?
All right. I know this might sound a little silly, but, on October, I think it was the 13th, when Islam is, they were saying there should be an international worldwide jihad, and they called for it. Well, nothing happened on the 13th where I live or anything like that. But on the 14th, I was at home, and all of a sudden there was so much. It didn't sound like fireworks because it was a continual, explosions everywhere, noise that sounded like gunshots or whatever. It was a constant thing.
Yeah.
And I was kind of surprised at my reaction, because my reaction, I could not move. I couldn't, there was no way that I was getting up to look out the window or anything to see if there was something. So it was a complete, and I couldn't even understand. No thought, no nothing.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Leslie, so sorry. Let me jump in really quickly here because we've got the music going. We're going to go to a break right now. During the break, what I want you to be able to do, Leslie, is think of that question that you want to ask us that we can help you with. And we will be right back right after this to answer that question.
For most of my life, I've been dealing with an opiate addiction.
Why is opioid addiction quickly becoming one of our nation's biggest killers? Maybe it's because it isn't only those who are addicted who are in denial.
We did what I see so many parents do, is it can't be an addiction. There's something medically wrong.
It's impossible to solve a problem when you don't know what you're up against, and families will try to find any explanation except the one that will put them on the right path.
Alcoholism and drug addiction is a family disease. It doesn't affect just the individual.
If someone you love is abusing painkillers, know what you're up against. It's time to admit its addiction and seek treatment. Call us today at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. We have partner treatment centers around the country. Call 1-800-639-5433 or visit us online at newlife.com.
We just made a decision. We will do whatever it takes.
1-800-NEW-LIFE.
I was sort of vaguely familiar that the 12 steps had some origination in the Bible. I found Life Recovery, and one of the things I liked so much was that it had such a broad appeal. It wasn't limited to just alcohol or drugs, that it was addressing a wide range of problems.
At New Life, we believe everyone can benefit from a life recovery experience. There are life recovery groups all over the country. They take place online, in conference calls, and in person. And if there isn't one in your area, we can help you start one. We have startup materials, leaders' guides, CDs, Bibles, and more, all with discounts available for groups. Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE and ask for Terry Ward. The 12 Steps have long been a great help to people in recovery because much of the 12 Steps' power comes from the fact that they capture principles clearly revealed in the Bible.
The 12 steps is really a pattern for all of us as Christians.
Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. We're glad you joined us for New Life Live. To be a part of the program, call 1-800-229-3000. Now back to New Life Live.
Welcome back to New Life Live. Again, we have myself, Chris Williams, Dr. Sherry Keffer, JJ West, and we are talking with Leslie. So Leslie, you are in this situation where, you're getting news of potential terrorist attacks that are kind of like this news, this information that's kind of out there in the air. And then you're at home and you're hearing all of these really loud noises that sound like explosions. And you're kind of going into this really kind of panicked or fear-driven place. What's the question for us?
Well, the thing is, it was, first of all, I'm a Christian, but in that particular time, I felt like God did abandon me and stuff, and like everything turned dark afterwards, and it's like, so I'm wondering if it's a trauma response, which, the police were called, a number of us, I guess, had called, they were investigating what it was, but regardless of what it was, because I didn't really want to know then afterwards, because I don't want to be living in fear constantly, but I just, everything, it was like a light turned off in me, all the things that make me, like my personality or whatever, just feels like, and it's already how many days later, and it just, I don't know, the world, even though it looked the same, doesn't feel the same.
Yeah, for sure.
So let me jump in real quick. So Leslie, there's actually a word. There's a phrase for what you have. You can even Google it and look it up. You know what it's called?
Besides the trauma response?
Yeah, it's vicarious trauma. It's vicarious trauma, and I think a lot of us are dealing with it right now. But because you had that police-worthy noise outside, it actually brought that vicarious trauma into your body. So it was a trauma response. Most likely you were in freeze. And you may have even dissociated. You may have even dissociated for a moment. Like all of us dissociate when we're driving home. We don't really think about getting off on the exit. We just drive and we're thinking about what I need to make for dinner. But so everybody's in some level. But when there's a trauma event like that, you can kind of go into this pocket of pain or freeze, which is scary in and of itself. So that might made you feel that God abandoned you. But really, God was as close as a puppy's breath to you. God hadn't moved at all. It's just your body went into a normal God-made response that is in all of us in order to protect us from whatever the harm is. It's fight, flight, or freeze. And guess what, girl? Your body just chose freeze. But what needs... Yeah. So what needs to happen now? And I love that I'm even hearing a little lightness in your voice, just to know that it's a thing. It happened to you. What your body needs to know right now is this. And if you can just kindly tell your body, like you'd be talking to a small child that's scared, like maybe got lost in the department store and was really scared, lost its mommy and daddy. I want you to kindly speak to your body, and I want you to tell it this: I'm safe now. My body's right here. It's here in our home. It's safe. I was protected. The police came, and whatever it was, I'm okay. My neighbors are okay. Like, you have to tell your body the truth after something like that happens so that your body can catch up with reality, right? Because you were in freeze. So see if you can try that, and see if your body doesn't eventually come back online to realize it was something. The other thing I'm going to ask you to do is, so many of us are watching this. We're going online and YouTube, and we're wanting to see every day. And I'm not saying to not stay in touch with what's going on, but that needs to be minimized because it's creating vicarious trauma in all of us. We're all expecting like jihad to jump out at the grocery store.
Yeah.
Right? I love your laughter.
Yep.
Again, that is kind of telling your body that, oh, that's vicarious trauma. So we have to be good stewards of our body and our minds at a time of war so that we don't end up putting ourselves in their situation. We need to pray for them. I can't imagine being that. And my heart bleeds for them on a regular basis. But
I know, and my child's half-brother actually moved over to Israel a few weeks prior to this happening. And stuff, so now he's in the middle of all that too.
So do you see how even more you're connected, right? And it requires that you care for your body and your mind, and we'll pray for your brother. We're going to pray for him along with you.
Yeah. JJ, what do you have?
Yeah, I just want to add to such kind words that Sherry offered you. I agree that you need to speak that kindness and peace to yourself. I would add to that, let the Father speak kindness and peace to you. It's so important. I mean, we see this over and over through Scripture, right? We hear the command, fear not, be not afraid. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid, right? We hear that over and over in Scripture. And we can interpret that as the instructor, the teacher, the master saying, stop being afraid, right? We could interpret it that way. And he is the master, he is in charge, but he's also the good father. And so much like when you were a child, if you had a good father who was standing in the pool and you're standing on the edge and you're afraid to jump in because you've never gotten in the pool before, and he's saying, don't be afraid. Why is he saying don't be afraid? Because I'm here. I've got you. You're okay because I'm with you. Not because your circumstances are fine, but because no matter what your circumstance, I am with you, right? That's what the psalmists say over and over, right? Psalm 121, I lift up my eyes to the hills. I think it's 121. I lift up my eyes to the hills. From where does my help come? My help doesn't come from these high places that the other people trust in. My help comes from the Lord, the maker of everything that I see. That's what I put my trust in. That's why I can, in the midst of very scary circumstances, I cannot be afraid because God is with me, right? So I comfort myself, like Sherry said. I'm tender to my own heart and my own body. I'm okay. And I'm reminded of God's care and tenderness over me.
JJ, you make me giggle because I have on my finger a ring that I had inscribed in Hebrew. In Israel, I had it made, and actually the verse that's on here is, fear not, for I am with you. And I had it say the Lion of Judah. So I wear this every day. And, you know, I do, it's with me just like the Lord's with us. But what a reminder. And I love that you brought that verse up. Thank you for bringing in that huge element that we have as believers.
Absolutely. And I'm just going to add one more thing. So Leslie, as you're speaking kind words to your body, as you're stewarding your soul and your experience, as you're connecting to God as the caretaker and lover of your soul, we also need to recognize that sometimes trauma and anxiety get stuck. And they're so sticky that sometimes we need that little extra, what I will refer to as common grace that's embedded in the help around us. So if these things, they're helpful, but it's not quite getting you all the way out, seek out a good trauma therapist, someone who could possibly do something like EMDR, And that will help give that extra boost to help relieve you of this anxiety. Leslie, thank you so much for calling us. We're going to send you a copy of Healing as a Choice. And with that, I have a guest in today, a special guest, a rare guest.
Yes.
So the good shepherd, or one of the good shepherds, a good shepherd of New Life for sure, Larry Sonnenberg. How you doing?
Good. Thank you so much, Chris. These 2 workshops are coming up next week, Every Man's Battle and Restore. Same weekend, same city. It's going to be an active city. But I want to, yesterday I talked about Restore. Today I want to give you a testimony from Every Man's Battle. This gentleman wrote, I have a lot of fear as I head home. However, I also have a lot of hope. I now understand that I need to grow my relationship with God and others to levels far beyond what I have done previously. I've carried so much pride and have had the mentality that I can do most of the changes through my own power. I can see now that I will never be able to succeed on my own. I'm praying this weekend is the start of sexual purity in my life. That realization that you can't do it, it's the 12-step beginning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it's what you need, guys. And I know there's a lot of you out there listening that would love to come, and you've got too much pride to even pick up the phone and call. So I want to challenge you right now to swallow, pick it up, and dial 800-639-5433 and find out about this workshop. You'll be glad that you did. And the last 30 seconds here, I just want to encourage folks, we always need, this is your ministry. This is a ministry that doesn't happen if you don't make a gift now and again to New Life. So if you would do so, that'd be great. If you believe in these workshops that we talk about, give to the scholarship fund. That would be a very beneficial thing for a lot of people. So God bless you all, and thank you for that.
Thank you so much for that. And Larry, right after this, we're going to come back to one more call. If you're on the phone, still hang out with us. We're on for 2 hours. We'll be right back.
We all face days where life throws us a curveball and our routines or plans get disrupted. Things we wanted to do are forced to take a backseat to the unexpected demands of the day. If you normally listen to New Life Live on a radio station, well, you might not be able to that day. And on these hectic days when you're feeling stressed or frazzled, hearing the sound of counsel given on New Life Live is just what you need to navigate the unexpected things of life.
Every time I'm troubled or I have a problem, I'll cut on New Life, and there's always something that is said that is helpful to me.
By listening, I have learned more than I can ever express about how God wants me to live.
Download the New Life app for the easiest way to listen wherever you are and at a time that's convenient for you, or watch the show on our YouTube channel. You can even subscribe to our podcast from your favorite podcast provider. You never have to miss a day of New Life. Wherever you are, we are. Chris Williams on coaching.
Oftentimes I get asked, what is the difference between therapy and coaching? The biggest difference between the two is that a therapist is going to be looking for a diagnosable mental health condition, whereas a coach is going to look at a particular issue and help a person work through that.
If you need a coach, call New Life today and ask about the New Life Coaching Network. Our coaches have been trained and screened with the same intensive process we use for our network counselors.
If you're looking at an issue in your life that you just kind of want to change, whether it be your weight or leadership or other areas of behavioral patterns, check out coaching. There can be some really, really helpful things for you.
Take control of your life and take action to achieve your goals. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433 and talk to us about getting a New Life coach. 1-800-NEW-LIFE. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
Welcome back to New Life Live. If you are waiting to talk to us, we're going to be on for a couple hours, for one more hour after this, so please hang on. We'd love to take your call. And with that, we're going to go to Donna, who is a Club New Life member. She's listening in Philadelphia on WFIL. Donna, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, and it is a wonderful Wednesday because I get to talk to all three of you, JJ, Sherry, Chris. It's a wonderful day.
Woo-hoo! Oh, you just made us smile. All right, Donna. My ego thanks you a lot.
Because I usually wouldn't call. I'm that introvert. I would listen, but not call. But I said, well, let me call because you were talking about that scripture.
Yes.
In Psalm 34. And
Yep.
it says, think peace and pursue it.
Yes. Yes.
And so I've been married for over 30 years, and my kids are all out of the house, and it's just me and my husband. Now, my problem is that he's a prankster, and he's a compulsive liar. And I don't think anybody else knows this, but because, I've been living with him all these years, I know him. So you're talking about peace. How do I keep my peace when that's his personality? That's who he is all these years. That's how he likes playing pranks on me. And he knows my triggers. So how do I find peace in that circumstance?
That's a great question. I am going to chime in here just for a second before I pass this off to these wise counsel that's around me. But one of the things is that it's darn near impossible to seek peace in the middle of chaos. I say it's not impossible, but it's darn near. If we can do something around the chaos around us, that starts. Much like I say in the healing process, it's darn near impossible to heal in the midst of continuing harm. We must first seek to get ourselves out of harm's way to be able to get into the healing process. I would say the same thing. The seeking of peace is seeking ourselves out of that which is chaotic. So yeah, JJ, what do you have?
Yeah, so I would start with Donna. First of all, thank you for calling. Secondly, have you ever discussed with your husband the impact of his pranks and his lying, the impact that it has on you?
I have numerous times, but it doesn't seem to affect him. He just keeps on doing what he does. It seems like he gets a high from it.
Okay. So in those conversations, when you do bring it up to him, does he joke around about it? Is he sincere? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I won't do that anymore, but then just goes back to it? How does he verbally respond in the conversation?
Yeah, I said, well, Rick, look, I hurt myself. You did this prank, and look, now I'm hurt. Oh, I didn't mean to do it. Sorry. I was just playing around. That type of thing.
Okay,
but,
so he gets defensive and he minimizes.
He gets defensive, right. Okay. He said, I don't have a sense of humor, that type of thing, and so it's just being immature. But I mean, when do you mature? When do you get to that point that you want to mature?
So, Donna, can I love you like a mama?
Please do.
Okay. Do you know what, girl? This is mean.
Okay.
This is mean and abusive behavior. And I don't know if anybody's ever told you that, but I'm going to love you like a mama. Because he's minimizing. JJ's asked some really good questions, but I think what's happened, sadly, over the 30 years is you've actually minimized it too.
Right.
And there isn't a boundary around your body. There isn't a boundary around your heart. The Bible talks about guard your heart, for it's the wellspring of life. And Chris, I love the verse that Chris brought in, and I'm so glad you called. You know why? Because, Donna, you're saying, I need to figure out how to make that verse practical, because it just doesn't feel practical. It's like, I know it's words, but it's just not fitting in my life.
What does it actually mean to seek peace and pursue it? Yeah.
So do you know the ancient Hebrew word for peace? This is back in the day when Hebrew was written much like hieroglyphics or Chinese or Egyptian. It was actually word pictures that told a story. Well, peace means to destroy the authority over chaos. Now, you are enabling the authority that chaos is having in your relationship with your husband. He's not taking you seriously, and so you're allowing him to continue to abuse you, hurt you, be mean to you. And so my question would be, I would love to do work with you to help you say, what is it about you that is not guarding your heart, that is not drawing a line in the sand and saying, if this behavior continues, like, we've been married, this is a 4-step process. Number 1 is we've been married for 30 years, and I've been in it to win it with you. But that's number 1. I'm here. I'm not, like, my foot hasn't been out the door. Number 2 is, but I'm not okay with your constant pranks and lies. They are hurting me deeply. And I need protection. I need protection. I need a safe home. Right? I need a safe home and I need protection. So then step 3 is, if you continue to play pranks on me and lie, I can't stop you from doing that. Right? You give him a long leash. I can't stop you from doing that. All right? So you can keep doing that if you want to. But step 4 is, if you continue doing those things, then I'm going to need to renegotiate actually where I'm living right now, and maybe where you're living. Because I need safety in my own home, and you are not behaving in a safe manner. Now, that's a boundary. That's a simple boundary, but you've got to be prepared to be able to make a shift. I don't know if you have a family member around or a place you could go, or, but, or even if you've done some of your own work. But I would be shoring you up, girl, so that you could have a voice and not minimize. Because as long as you enable and minimize what's going on, he's going to keep harming you. And it is the call of God to destroy the authority that establishes chaos.
Yeah,
that is the heart of the word of peace.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Oh, that is so powerful. Yes, because the Lord has been working on me. Donna, guard your heart. Guard your heart.
Yes.
You know, guard your heart. But I didn't know how to, and I know the things that I need to do, and that's the hard part, knowing that you have to take action. That's drastic action.
Yep.
It's drastic action at this point.
Yeah.
In order for me to gain that peace.
So Donna, let me jump in here. Okay, you're married to what I call a provocateur, who doesn't know how to be close, only knows how to get a reaction. And that's actually a drug-like effect. So you want to be married to a human being who treats you with honor and treats you with respect. We're going to send you a copy of How We Love and a copy of Take Your Life Back. And those two things will guide your heart, as you said, into action. Thank you so much for calling in. Thank you so much for being with us today. If there's any way that we can help you in what you're struggling with today, 1-800-NEW-LIFE or newlife.com. Thank you for being with us. See you on the other side.
Thanks for listening. We hope this program has helped you by giving you insights for handling the challenges you face in your life. We want you to know that we're here for you, but you also need to know that New Life Live is a listener-supported ministry. To make your donation or to get any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433, or write to us at New Life Ministries, P.O. Box 1029, Lake Forest, California, 92609. Please join us again tomorrow for New Life Live.
Hi, thank you for watching New Life Live. You know, New Life Live is a Christian counseling program where we deal with the hard questions about life, relationships, kids, free choice, freedom of will, whatever. It's all right there on New Life Live every day, every weekday, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. If you want to call into the live broadcast, you can find the schedule on newlife.com or click the social media link right below. You can see every episode of New Life Live on the New Life YouTube channel. Watch it with a friend, watch it later. Be sure to subscribe and hit that bell so you'll never miss another episode. So if you want to listen on the go, download the app. The link is right below. And I hope if you need some information, if you want to get some help, you'll call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. And I'll see you next time.